My name is Alyssa Tarbett, and I'm a Curriculum and Instruction Manager here at ICEV, and I have the pleasure to talk with you about the Forensic Science course and its offerings. I was helping in the execution and the planning of this course, and I'm just really excited to show you the details that it entails. So let's dive right in to Forensic Science on ICEV. The course here for Forensic Science, I think, is a very comprehensive course of topics. Because it is a science-approved course, it has a really good foundation for students to understand these different scientific fundamentals and principles that are used as a base, regardless of what field you're in. Science is science, and so walks through with students the different steps that they may do in various scientific investigations or procedural elements. So we think, like I said, that's a solid foundation for a science-based course. And then we get into the actual forensic science-based topics. And the topics here are very comprehensive, in my opinion. You range from ballistics to fingerprint and impression analysis, to document analysis, to crime scenes and sketching and things that are in all areas of the forensic science field. So I do think this is a very comprehensive course for the various topics that we cover. The course is made up of both video and PowerPoint lessons. So if we dig in here, here's an example of a video lesson. These are going to be able to show students the hands-on components of maybe what they would see in the field, and just bringing that to the classroom, really showing them the elements in a firsthand basis of what they could see even if they're not out in the field. To various slide-based presentations. So if we are just to click through some of these, very straightforward in the manner that they're presented, with different elements that keep students engaged. So those are the two types of media that those lessons are based out of. And then if we're just to dig into a few of those lessons to look at the instructional materials and the things that we have created. So here's another example of a video lesson. Like I said, just the way visually that it is to allow students to see those components without actually maybe having access to them in a classroom is really great. And also to just being able to see a realistic crime scene or a realistic forensic science lab is just, I think, some invaluable perspectives for students. Throughout these videos, you'll hear from different subject matter experts. I just clicked through, I passed one there. Some of the subject matter experts, they range in the field of forensic science based on their educational or professional backgrounds. Some that you'll see in this course are from local universities in Texas, like Sam Houston State University. And through those, just very highly esteemed individuals, hearing firsthand about their experiences. That's just really neat for students to be able to connect either careers or firsthand perspectives with those different individuals. So we think that those videos provide just a really great alternative to just educational media. For the different lesson components, so every lesson has a lesson plan that helps package everything together that we've created. So this is a really great roadmap to view. Here's all the materials that are in the lesson. Here is how ICEV would suggest to use them. Maybe some tips and tricks of how to make an activity work well, or where to pause a video and interject some conversation points with your students. All of that can be found in the lesson plan here. Something that's really great about these instructional materials is the bell ringer and exit ticket at the beginning and end of each class day to really help engage students from bell to bell. Another great opportunity here in our instructional materials is the ability to change the language as well as read aloud. So you can click through here and change to a number of languages. I'm going to change it back to English here just so we can see what we're reading. But another option is speech to text, highlighting speech to text to read it out loud. So if I was to highlight the word procedures, it actually reads it out loud to me in my headphones. I didn't share my sound, but you would hear that being read aloud basically by a screen reader. So we think that this option right here for accessibility and accommodating students is something that is going to be really helpful in classrooms. As we look into the instructional materials, there are a range of activities and projects throughout the course. Every lesson, based on its content, has different activities and projects. When it's needed, if there is an activity or project that needs a little bit more prep work or has a lot of steps or has a need for a more hands-on role for the instructor to work through along with the students, then we provided an instruction sheet. So you can see, what do I need to do as an instructor to ensure the success of my students with this activity or project? So we think this is really valuable, especially too of emulating those same things that we've seen in the lessons, is being able to present them in the same way for students. So building out a crime scene, they saw it in the video, we're going to build them out a crime scene in order for them to practice evidence collection procedures in the chain of custody, or to run a ballistics report, whatever it may be. So we think that that's a really valuable opportunity for students to practice some hands-on engagement of maybe what they've then learned in the lesson, and they get to practice in the projects and activities. So this lesson here over blood splatter, it would be the same kind of setup for slide-based presentation, and then for the activities and projects, for the students to actually practice those elements that are in the lesson, and practicing the same kind of elements that maybe a professional in this field would use. So I think this really showcases the wide variety of the interactive activities and projects. Some are more straightforward than others. It's important to identify the foundations and the fundamentals of things in forensic science, while others, it's really important to be able to perform the experiments that forensic scientists would perform in the field in whatever capacity their role is. So here's another video. Like I said, those subject matter experts, just the way that they're able to connect and convey this information to students is really valuable. So just think that the graphics that are in the video, the footage being able to showcase, is just a really engaging way for students to learn and comprehend this content for this field. Like I said, various activities and projects, all of which are helping students master the knowledge and skills that they've learned in a very fun, exciting way for some, for others a very challenging and critical thinking manner. So we hope that the resources that we've developed for this course are really able to help students further their investigations and further their passion for this field. And we hope that you enjoy the course as well.